Hello everyone, this is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Tech Journey with Ankit. Today is day 10 of our LWC Bootcamp where we will explore the further advanced topics of the JavaScript. In the initial, we will go and cover the assignment part that I have shared on the day 9, and in the remaining part I will go and discuss more about the how we can use the browser JavaScript event, and also we will discuss how we can create our own JavaScript events in the JavaScript. Before we get started, a quick intro about me. So my name is Ankit Jain. I do have more than 10 years of experience in the Salesforce ecosystem where I got an opportunity to work on the complex LWC as well as on the integration project. I also do have the training experience. I do provide trainings to the corporates on the different modules of the Salesforce, including the admin, LWC, integration, Aura, app builder, CPQ, as well as on the billing too. So that's all about me. In case you guys like to connect with me, these are the different channels which are available. You can connect with me on the YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as also on the Telegram. I will also put the links in the video description so you can refer it from there and get connected. Okay, let's get started with the first section of the day 10 where we will discuss the assignment that I have shared on day 9. Again, I got the responses from most of the folks on the Telegram channel, on the video description, as well as on the LinkedIn, and most of them have done a very good job, right? But for the others, let me go and explain how we can perform the operations on the arrays by using the different array methods that we have covered on the day 9. So let me go back to the editor again and we will process all the questions one by one. So the first assignment question that we do have here is write a function that takes string as an input and return a new string with the first letter of each word capitalized. So for example, if I am passing this as an input as a part of output from the function, I am expecting the first word as the capitalized. Again, here they have given an example of these two words, but let's say here the string can be something like hello world, let's say welcome to learn Salesforce. The string can be something like this as well. And we have to make sure is each and every word that we do have in the string, it is capitalized. So we have to go and design the method in such a way that each and every word of the string will be capitalized. Again, as we know in the programming, there can be more than one solution for any given problem. As most of the people have done this differently, they are also correct, but also I'm showing another approach how you can attempt it. Okay, so let me copy the question first and put it here, and we will process each question one by one. So this is the question that we do have. So let's go and create the function as it has been asked. So I am creating a function here. Let's say I am giving the name to the function as capitalize first letter. And what I am expecting in a function as a part of input, I am expecting a string. So let's say I am giving the name as the input string. Okay. Now on this input string, I have to go and capitalize each and every word. So the first thing that I am doing here is I am breaking the string into the array. What I am doing here is I am breaking the string into the array. Sorry, let me correct the syntax part. Here it should be function and followed by this. You can also go and write down the arrow function as well if you want. So that's also fine. In case you are comfortable with arrow function, you can definitely go ahead and write down the arrow function as well. So this is my input string. So what I have to do, I have to first go and break this input string. So let me do that. Let me put here let uh, converted array. What I am doing here is whatever the input string that I have received, I am breaking this into the array. For that, we already covered one method, that is the split method. Let me go and log this as well. Console.log, and here I go and put the converted array. We will go and see what output we are getting before I take this further. Let's say this is the string that I am passing, for example. Okay, and let me go and log this console.log, or we don't have to go and log this because we are already logging here. Okay, so let's go and check the output. uh, okay, I believe my server is already launched, so I can go and open this, click on inspect. Okay, that is also opened. Let me expand this so that we can check the output. You can see what we are getting here is the each and every capital word. But again, here I have not put any space. That's why we are getting each and every capital word, each and every letter in a as an array entry. But here I have to go and break it with the help of spaces. So I am adding an additional space here. Now you can see I do have each and every word available in my array. Now the next thing what we can do, we can iterate over this array. For the iteration, we have covered one method. Again, although we have covered multiple methods, but here I will be using the map method. Why map method? Because I want to return the array from here. Okay, so what I am doing here is I am using the map method. So again, in case you are not comfortable with this, I will also show you how you can do everything into the single line. But considering the experience, let me first show you into the separate lines. After that also I will show you how you can do all this into the one single line as well. So here what I am doing now is I am iterating over this array by using the map method. So in the map method we always get the current item, so I am taking the current item here. Now here what we have to do, we have to take the first letter and make it capitalized. So what I am doing here is I am taking the current item of 0th entry, because we always know that my first item will be at the my first letter will be at the 0th index position. That's why I'm taking the 0th item here. And to this I am converting it into the uppercase. To convert anything into the uppercase, we do have the uppercase method. What it will do, it will convert it into the uppercase. Now the next thing what I have to do, for example, let's say if I take the example of hello, now my h is converted into the uppercase. Now I need to go and append the remaining characters. So from which position I have to go and perform the append operation? From the first index position. Again, if you recall, we have covered multiple ways to perform the splitting the screen or to adding the string as well. So here what I am doing here is to get the remaining part of the string. Here I will be using the slice method. So here I go and put the current item. I already covered the slice method in detail. Let me know if any one of you have any question. So what I will be getting here, let me go and put this into the again into the separate variable. Let me put here into the converted map, and this time I will go and log the map now, or let me go and log the entry here, separate entry here. You can see what we are getting. Initially we do have the first letter as the small letter, but here what we have done, we have converted it into the uppercase for the first item, and we are getting the remaining item with the help of slice. And we are getting the remaining item with the help of slice. In the previous session I already covered the what is slice, what is splice. Still, if you guys do have any question, let me know in the chat section. Okay, now the next thing what we have to do, we have to go and concatenate this entries, right? Because the final output that we are looking for something as a string. We are not looking for the array. Now again, how to convert the array into the string? We have also covered that method as well. Let me put here, let result string is equal to, so here I do have the converted map, and I am converting into the string by using the join method. Right, and how I want to join, separated by the spaces, right? Wherever we do have the space, I want to join here separated by the space. Let me go and put the result string. You can see here what we are getting. For each and everything we are getting the first word as the capitalized. For each and everything we are getting the first word as the capitalized. Right, now here you can see to do the one single operation we have taken the multiple steps. But if you take a look of any senior developer, they are doing all these things into the one single step. Right, again I'm not saying that doing it into the single multiple steps it's wrong, but as you might have to read the code of an experienced developer, and so you should understand how they are writing everything into the one single line. Okay, so what I'll be doing here is I'll be generating the similar output now by combining all these methods into the one single method one by one. So make a note of this, how I am doing it. So first what I have to do, I have to go and split the string. So here I am splitting the string. What it will give me? It will give me an array, right? On the array, we can directly perform the map operation. So the next thing that I am doing here is with the help of dot, I am concatenating I am performing the chaining of the operation here. So what I have done, I have from the map dot map onwards, I have put everything here. Right now, the next thing what I have to do, I have to perform the join operation. Again, the map will be returning. It is returning an array, and I am converting that array into the string by using this join. So you can see here on the input string, first I have converted into the array. On the array, I have performed the operation. After that, I have converted back into the string. Right? So what I can do, I can go and store this again into the, let me go and store this into the separate variable. Let output is equal to, and here you can go and log the output, console.log. You can see we are getting the similar output here as well. Initially I have done that into the multiple steps to make it easy, but you can also do all these things into the single step as well. I hope it is clear to everyone, right? As we have done everything into the single steps, we can comment the previous part, right? We already discussed that whenever we are performing the operation into the single steps, there is no need to put the braces. So I'm taking out this curly braces as well. There is no need to define this variable. So I'm taking this out as well. I am taking this out as well. Let me remove this console log now. Whatever the output that we are getting now, I'm directly logging that output here. So that's a benefit that we will get whenever we go and use the arrow function. We don't have to go and write down the curly braces. We don't have to go and specify the return statement here. Where is the console? Right. You can see here we are still getting the similar output. Let me go and expand this. You can see here we are still getting the similar output. I have taken out the braces, no need of return statement. The reason being there is only one line in our function, right? That's the reason there is no need to write down the curly braces. I hope I make this easy so that everyone can understand. Let me know in the comment section if you do have any questions on this. Okay, let's come to the next assignment now. In the second assignment, what we are supposed to do here is we're supposed to write a function that takes the string and perform the reversal of the string. That take the string and perform the reversal of the string. So let me go and remove this now because this has been done. So let me go and remove this, and this is our second requirement now, where we have to write down a function that takes an input, return the reverse of the string, maintaining the case of each character. So here you have to go and maintain the case of each character. So let's go and write down the function for this as well. So let me go and put const reverse string with case. Again, I am putting an arrow function here. Okay, so what we are expecting here is we are expecting a input string. So let me go and put the input string here. Now what we have to do here is we have to go and reverse this string. There is no direct way to reverse the string. So what we have to do here is we have to go and first break the string into the array. Just now we covered how we can break the string into the array. Let me know in the comment section. Just now I have mentioned that. So input array. So to convert the string into the array, again we will go and use the same method, that is the split method. That is the split method. Let me go and call this method so that we can parallelly check the output as well. So here I am passing the hello world, and let me go and log this console.log put array. So you can see we are having the each and every character now as an entry in the array. Now on the array we have covered one method to reverse the array. So I am using the same method here. Here I am performing the reversal of my array. So let me go and perform the reversal array now. So let me put here let reversal array is equal to input array dot reverse. What this method will do, this method will reverse my array. So let me go and log this reversal as well. Console.log. You can see here, this is my reversal array, right? Now this is what we are expecting, DL, ROW. You can see DL, ROW and followed by the space. So for that we do have the space and the remaining characters. Now the next thing that we have to do here is, again we have to convert this array into the string. So again I am putting console.log. Or before that, let me go and convert it first. So let me put here, let output is equal to whatever the reversal array that we have received. Again I am converting it back to the string by using the join method. And how I want to join? With the space, because here I do have the space in between the words, right? So I want to join this with the space. Let me go and put the output here now. You can see here I do have the correct output. Whatever the output that we are expecting, we do have the same output. This one also we can do it into the one single line based on what we have done previously. So let me do that. So let me put let result is equal to, first what we are doing, we are splitting the screen. So I am putting the input string dot split, right? After that, on that string, what we are doing, we are performing the reversal. So I am doing the reversal here. After that, on that, what we are doing next, on the reversal, we are joining it back to the string. So I am copying and pasting this as well, right? Now let's go and check the result, whether we are getting the similar result or not. So here I go and put console.log result. You can see we are getting the exact same output. Rather than we go and perform these steps with that many variables, we can also do it into the one single steps by combining all these different methods with this chaining operator. Okay, so again we don't need this, so I am taking this out. We don't need any variable to declare, sorry, so I can take this out as well. This is also not required because we have to perform the return. As we have to perform the return, without a return statement, I am taking out this curly braces as well, right? Let's go and log this output here now. Whatever the output that we are getting after calling this method, I am making a log here. You can see here, without a curly brace, without anything, as we are using the arrow function, we are getting our expected output here. So I'm showing you here in both the ways how you can do it line by line, right? In case you are very new to the JavaScript, go with this approach, but also follow this approach. After you have done the coding with this approach, make sure that you are also following this approach as well. So you will understand basically how you can convert, how you can write down all this code into the one single line. Once you do have the experience or confidence on the JavaScript, you can directly attempt to go and write something like this. Okay, so based on your experience on the JavaScript, you can either go with this approach or go with this approach. Let me take the next assignment now. So the third question, this one. Most of the people got struggled in the third one. So let me spend the good time on the third one now. Just a minute. Hello everyone. This is Ankitjain. Sorry. I welcome you all to my channel, Tech Journey with Ankit. Today is day 10 of our LWC bootcamp, where we will
Sorry,
explore
folks, just a minute.
the
There's some
further
technical
advanced
glitch.
topics of the JavaScript. In the initial, we will go and cover the assignment part that I have shared on the day 9. And in the remaining part, I will go and discuss more about the how we can use the browser JavaScript event, and also we will discuss how we can create our own JavaScript events in the JavaScript. Before we get started, a quick intro about me. So my name is Ankit Jain. I do have more than 10 years of experience in the Salesforce ecosystem, where I got an opportunity to work on the complex LWC as well as on the integration project. I also do have the training experience. I do provide trainings to the corporates on the different modules of the Salesforce, including the admin, LWC, integration, Aura, App
Okay,
Builder,
let's get
CPQ,
started with
as
the
well as
next
on the
topic.
billing too.
So,
So that's all about me. In case you guys like to connect with me, these are the different channels which are available. You can connect with me
sorry,
on
my
the
mouse is
YouTube,
not working. Just
LinkedIn,
give me a
as well as
minute.
also on the Telegram. I will also put the links in the video description so you can refer it from there and get connected. Okay, let's get started with the first section of the day 10, where we will discuss the assignment that I have.
Sorry, yeah, I'm back. So let's take the next one. Not sure what is the issue. Okay, that's fine. We can go ahead back to the assignment. So let's take the third question now. In the third question, we supposed to what we supposed to do. For example, let's say if this is our input, so we have to count each and every variable in our input. For example, here h is coming one time, so we have to put one. E is coming one time, so we have to put one. L is coming twice, so we have to go and put two. And O is also coming once, so we have to go and put this one as well. Okay, so how we can do that? How we can count all the characters available in my input? That's what we're supposed to do in this example. Okay, so we have to go and count the characters. So let me go and remove this, and here again I'm creating another function. So let me go and put const count characters is equal to, again I am getting one input string, so I am putting an input string here, and this is my arrow function. So what we have to do here is we have to go and perform the calculation of this input field here, right? Again, this hello, if I go and uh, print this, basically what is this? What is the single letter? This is nothing but the sequence of array, right? For example, let's say if I am printing this input string, or if you want, you can also split it as well. That's one and the same thing. But let me go and put it here. You go and put const input string, or let me go and put console.log of input string. Okay, and here I'm calling this method count characters, and let's say here I'm passing the string as hello. Let's go and check. What we are getting here is the hello. Okay, now let's say I am splitting this string here. So let me go and put here split, and I want to convert this into the array. Now I do have an array here. What I do have an array here. So what we will do now is, as we do have an array, we can iterate over this array, right? We have already covered the iteration of the array. This time, let's say I am performing the iteration with the help of for of loop. We also covered this different loops as well. Definitely you can go with the for each or the map as well, but just to add some different variety, I am here iterating here with the for of loop. So what I will be doing here is, let me go and save this into one single variable first. So let me put here let uh, input array is equal to this, and I am iterating over this array. So here I go and put the let me put let current item of input array, and let me go and log this current item. Let me go and log this current item. So you can see here, I do have all the items one by one, HELLO. Right here you can see 2 because we do have the repeated word. That's why you can see here 2. I hope I am making sense till here to everyone. Now the next thing what we are in the form of output, what they are expecting an object, right? And in the object they are expecting the properties, where property is the each and every character that we are getting in the string, and after that the value is the count of that character. So let me go and define the one variable as an output. So let me put here, let output is equal to a blank object. Now what I am doing here is, in this output object I am populating the array. In this output object what I am doing here is I am populating the array. So how I can go and populate the array? Again, we have discussed that how we can populate the value in the object. We have already covered that there are two ways to populate the values in the object. One is using the dot operator and second one is using the bracket notation. So here I am populating the value, let's say with the help of bracket notation. So here whatever the value that we are getting, I am populating that value into this output from the current item. From the current item. Right? Now the next thing that I will go and check here is, I will go and check whether the value is present in the current item or not. What I have to check? Whether that value is or property is present in the current item or not. How I can do that? There can be two possibilities now. Possibility number one, the current my output does have the element array entry. Second one is my output does not have the array entry. In case my output does not have the array entry, then I have to go and assign the value as 1. In case my output have that array entry, then I have to get the latest value and increment by 1. So there are two possibilities here. So how we can go and retrieve the value from the output? For example, let's say here if I go and let me go and do this separately one by one. After that, I will combine it. After that, I will go and combine it. How we can go and retrieve the value from the current item, or let me go and populate the current item for now. And here I will show you the output. You can see here we are getting the all the properties here, HELLO. We are getting all the properties here. Now the next thing that I have to do here is, but here we know that in case the properties are repeated, it will only populate once, right? So this job has been done. Now only job that is pending here is we have to go and populate this value. So for that we have to go and check whether my object have that property or not. To check the object have the property or not, we do have one method. That method name is has property, has own property. Okay, to check whether the object have that property or not, we do have one method called has own property. In case the property is present, it will return true. In case the property is not present, it will return false. So we're going to use this method here. So what we will check here is, in my output, if output has own property. And what is the property that we are looking for? Property of current item. In case my output does have the property, then what we will do? We will go and get the property. How we can access the property? Again, we already covered that. To access the property, this is how we can access the property, with the help of square bracket notation. And in that I am incrementing by 1. Whatever the value that we are getting of the property, we are incrementing by 1. In case the property does not exist, then what we have to do? We have to go and populate the default value as 1. What we have to do? We have to go and populate the default value as 1. Now how this will work? Let's say my loop is running for the first time. What is the value of my current item? H.
right? You can see here the value of my current item is h. As of on the first run, output is blank. So this part will not execute. It will go to the else section. For the output of h, it will populate the value as 1. Right? Second time, my entry is L. Again, there is no entry for L present in the output object. It will again populate the value as 1. Next time, it will go and run for the L. Now for the L also there are no entry available in my output object. Again, it will populate the 1. On the next run, it will again run for the L. Now for the L, the property is present. Right? My L is already populated in the output. So it will get that item and increment by 1. What it will do? It will go and get that item and increment by 1. You can see here we are getting the output as H1, E1, L2 and the O1. How this is possible? This is possible because we are checking here first whether the property exists or not. If the property exists, then and then only we are adding the value. In case we are assigning the default value as 1. In case the property does not exist, then we go and assign the default value as 1. This is how we can go and work on this method. Right? Do anyone have any question? Let me go and check the comment section if anyone have any questions on this. Okay, let's take the next question now. So third is also done. Now the fourth one is quite easy. Let me take this as well. So what they're asking to do here is they're asking to generate the username. So based on your first name, middle name and the last name, they are asking you to generate the username here. So let me go and paste that question. So based on your first name, middle name and the last name, you have to go and generate the username. So for example, if let's say this is my input, this should be my output. So let me go and create the function here. So I am putting const generate username is equal to, right, what it will take, again it will take the input string, right? Let me go and pass this input string from here. So let's say I am passing this as my input string, right? And what we are expecting as a part of output, we are expecting this as a part of output. How we can do that? Now the first thing that I can observe here is on my output everything is in the capital letter. So what I will do here is first thing that I will perform here is, let's say string uppercase is equal to, I am converting my string into the uppercase. So here I go and put to uppercase. Now my string here is in the uppercase. Sorry, not string, my bad, let uppercase. So let me go and log this now. Console.log uppercase. Right? I got my string into the uppercase. Now the next thing that we have to do here is I have to go and break this string into the array because I need one value from each entry. So the best way to do here is I should go and break my string. So let me put here let uh, input array. Let input array is equal to, so whatever the uppercase that we have got, to convert the string into the array, again I am using the same method, split with the spaces, because I have to go and break the string based on the space. So I am putting here the spaces. So let me go and log one more time, console.log. You can see here we are getting here the entries in the array. Now what we have to do, we have to go and get the first entry from each array item. So for that again I am performing the iteration. So let me go and perform the iteration one more time. Again I am using the same map, putting the current item, and what I am expecting from the current item, I am expecting the first value, sorry, first character. So I am putting again the index position as 0, and let me put here the let initials array. Let initials array. Let me go and log this initials array one more time.
what we are getting here from the array A, D and the J. Now the next thing that we have to go here and perform the operation here is we have to go and convert this into the string. Again, to convert this into the string, let me put here what method we will use. We will again use the join method. So I am putting the joining and we don't need any space. So this is how I am joining. Let me go and log my final output as well. You can see here I am getting the final output as this one. We have done this step by step. First I have converted it to the uppercase. After that I have created the array, iterated the array, get the initial character from the array, each element of an array, and after that again I have combined it. We have again do the same thing into the one single step as well. So let me put let result is equal to. So this is my input operation on which I am performing the uppercase. Next thing what I am doing here is I am doing the splitting. So let me go and perform the splitting. Again dot. What is the next thing that I am doing? I am iterating over each and every value. That's where this map method, all these methods will be helpful because they allows you to perform the chaining. Your for loops, for off loop, for in loop, they don't allow you to do that kind of a chaining. Right? Here again it is returning an array, so you are concatenating it. Now the next thing that is pending here is you have to go and convert this into the string. So again I am using the dot join method to convert it into the string. You can see here whatever the four methods that we have used, to uppercase, split, map and join, all these four methods I have combined with the help of this dots. Right? Let's go and print the result as well. Console.log result comma result. You can see we are getting the same expected output here. Right? Again we can take out everything. Right? We don't need even the braces, so I can go and take out the braces and everything because we are already using the arrow function here, and whenever we go and use the arrow function we don't need any curly braces. I have repeated this multiple times now. So let me go and print this. So let's go and check the output. You can see here we are getting an output as an expected output as ADJ. Right? Coming towards the next assignment, this one I have already covered in the previous session, so you can definitely refer it from there. Right? And this one also I have covered in the previous session, so you can also refer this from the previous session. Do anyone have any questions in the assignment? Thank you, Mohsin, for the kind words. I hope you got the point what I like to explain here. Yogesh, I didn't understand your point. Sir, it was coming from first. Can you explain this with more detail? I can relate it. Then. Okay, the last two assignments I have already covered on the day 9. So you can definitely refer it from there. Remaining, I hope it is making clear to everyone. Let's move towards the next point for today. That is the JavaScript events. Sorry. Okay, let's move towards the next point for today. That is the JavaScript event. So what are events basically? Events are something which will execute whenever the user perform action on the browser. For example, let's say from the HTML file, now you have to pass the message that you have to go and execute something at the JavaScript end. How you will do that? You will do that with the help of events. How you will do that? You will do that with the help of events. So whenever you have to communicate from the HTML to the JavaScript, you will always go for the events. So we do have the different types of events available. For example, I hope most of you guys have already used that, like the on click event. Whenever the user clicked on the HTML button, which event will execute? The on click event. Similarly,
whenever the user go and change some value, then what type of event will execute? The on change event. Whenever, let's say, user is taking the cursor on the text, then what type of event will execute? The mouse over event. In case user is taking out the mouse, then on mouse out event. These are all the different types of events available in the JavaScript. So let me show you the complete list of all these JavaScript events. So if you go here and look for the JavaScript events, there's a very big list available. Let me open this list here. So these are the different types of events that we do have. Right, you can see here like the focus event, blur event, double click, mouse over, mouse out. These are all nothing but the different types of event. Click event, the change event, right? This is a big list of the all the different types of event. Let me look out for that list. Let me open this here. Right, you can see the different types of events that I just mentioned. So again, there's a complete big list. So this is where they have put this list. You can see here the all these different types of event. Now there are few things that you should know whenever you are dealing with the events. The first thing is your event name will always be in the small case. The first thing here is your event name will always be in the small case. You cannot have events in the mixed case or in the upper case. Your event name will always be in the small case. Next thing here is whenever you have to write down the event, you always put the on as the prefix on the event name. For example, let's say here like about is the event. So when you have to invoke this event, you will put on about. For example, let's say click is the event name. Whenever you have to invoke the event, you put the on click. For example, change is the event. Whenever you have to invoke that event, you will go and put the on change. So on whatever the event name that you do have, whenever you have to invoke that event, you will always go and put the on keyword on that event. Okay, you will always go and put the on keyword on that event. Let's go and try to understand these events with few examples now. Okay, so I'll be on my HTML file and let's say here I am adding one button. So to add the button in the HTML, we do have the button. Let me go and put here uh, on click. So here click is the event name, on is the prefix that we add whenever we have to add the listener on that event. Okay, so and let's say as soon as user clicked on the button, I want one function to be executed. Let's say I'm putting the function name here as click me function. I'm putting the function name here as the click me function, and let's say I'm giving the button name as the click here. I'm giving the button name here as the click here. Let's go to the JavaScript file now. And what we will do now is whenever the user clicked on the click here button. So if you go and check here, now we do have this at click here. Right? You can see here, we do have the button here called click here. Now, whenever the user clicked on this button, now I want some logic to be executed. Okay. In this scenario, let's say I want the logic to be executed here is I want to show the alert. What I want to do, I want to show the alert. So here, let's say I'm putting here is function click me. As soon as user clicked on that button, then I am showing an alert here. So let's say welcome me. Right, you can see here I am clicking on this button, the function is getting executed and the welcome me block is pop-up is coming up. So again, I am repeating what is the purpose of event. Whenever from the HTML file, if you have to send the communication to the JavaScript file that some action has been done, now the business logic needs to be executed. How you will do that? With the help of events. How you will do that? With the help of events. Okay, so as I said, there are multiple types of event. So first one is the button event that we discussed. Let's go and talk about the mouse over event that we generally used
whenever the user is taking a mouse, let's say you have to go and highlight a particular section. So for that, you can generally we use this mouse over event. So I am putting a div here. Let me put here class as uh, over class. You can give any name to the class, it's completely up to you. And here, as soon as user taking the mouse, so I am executing the on mouse over event here. And let's say I'm giving the method name as mouse over handler. I'm giving the method name here as mouse over handler. So this is the function that I have to execute, mouse over handler, right? Whenever the user is taking a mouse here, what I have to do, I have to go and execute the function called on mouse over handler. Let's say here, for the demo purpose, I am creating one small background. So this div is not closed, right? If I am not wrong. Okay, let's say here I am putting one style for the demo. Let me put here the style as background color, let's say green. Let me put here height. We already covered all these things in the previous session, how to write down the inline styling and how to do the offline styling. Now I hope you guys can relate. So here I am putting the height as 200 pixel and the width, for example, as the 200 pixel. So we are getting this box here. Now let's say the functionality that I am looking here is whenever the user is taking the cursor on this box, I want to hide this box. What I want to do here is whenever the user is taking the cursor on this box, I want to hide this box. So how I will understand whether the user have taken the cursor on this box or not. So here we will get the reference of this element in our file, because as soon as user is taking the cursor from here, what will happen? This event will execute, because here we have executed the on mouse over event. So for example, let's say here if I go and write down the console log, let's say for example console.log mouse over event executed, mouse over event executed. If I go to the inspect section and show you, you can see here as soon as I am taking the mouse here, you can see this line is coming up. Again I'm taking the mouse over there, you can see this counter is increasing. If I again taking the mouse here, this counter is increasing. So I hope you guys can understand that my event is executing as expected here. Now the additional functionality that I am looking for here is as soon as I am taking the mouse here, I want to hide this part. So for that, I need to get the access of this div element. So whenever you have to access any HTML in your JavaScript, listen me very carefully, we generally use this concept in the LWC as well. So whenever you have to access your HTML in the JavaScript, we go for the query selector. We go for the query selector. So here, in case I have to go and select that element, so here also I am going for the query selector. In the query selector, how I can identify this particular box? There are two ways to do it. Either I can go and identify with the help of tag, or I have given the unique class name here, right? The class name you can give anything. Let's say hover me. This is the class name that I am giving. So with the help of this class also I can identify my element from the HTML file. So here I am putting the dot followed by the class name. So whenever we have to refer the class in the JavaScript, first we put the dot followed by the class name. In case you are not giving a dot, then it will refer the element. In case you are putting the dot, then it will go and look for that class. It will go and look for that class. So let me store that. Let element is equal to. Let element is equal to. Okay, and now on this element what I have to do, I have to go and add one property to hide this box. To do that, again I am adding the one style property, and here I am putting the style here as the, sorry, put here style. Why it is not taking the style dot display, and I am putting the display value as none. So we use this display attribute whenever we have to go and hide any element, right? Whenever we have to go and hide any element, then we go and use this, right? So let me go and refresh my page. So here you can see as of now my box is available. As soon as I'll go and take the cursor here, right, you can see the box will be going out. So I'm moving my cursor on that green box, you can see the box is out. You can see that the box is out. Similarly, what I can do, as soon as user taking the cursor away, I can again add the box. So for that, what I am doing here is I am invoking another event here. Let's say initially I have invoked the on mouse over event. Now this time I am invoking the on mouse out event. So this is again the another event name. And on that one, I am invoking the another method. Let's say mouse out handler. I am invoking the another method here, that is the on mouse handler. Let me go to this let me go and write down another function now. Again, here also first thing that we have to do here is we have to go and find the element, right? So I am finding that element, and the next thing here is I will go and set this property to blank. I can go and set this property to blank. So you can see here, as soon as I am taking the cursor here, my green box is gone. So on mouse over event is executed. But if I am taking my cursor out, you can see that on mouse handler event is executed, and again my green box is back. This is how you deal with the events in the JavaScript. Another very frequently used event is the on change event. So let me take the example for the on change event as well. Let me open the HTML file. So again, I am creating another div. So here I am putting the input this time because I have to get the input. And as soon as user have changed the input, let's say I want to execute the event. So here I am putting the change handler, and here I am passing the event because I want to access the values that user have passed. For that, I have to go and access the value here. Let me go and find the type here as number because I want to put the numerical type. So let me add some padding here because it is coming very close to this one. So for the better view, let me go and add some padding. So style is equal to padding top. I am putting here the 10 pixel. Let me add the top. Still very okay. It is not executed. Okay, now I do have the proper space for the input. If you want, you can go and put the label as well. So let me go and put the label here. Let's say enter number. Okay, if you want, you can also go and put the label as well, that is the enter number. Okay, so let me go and enter some number here. So you say I am entering the 5, but as soon as I will enter any number here, I want that my JavaScript should execute, right? For that, what we do have the change event handler here. So on as soon as user have go and type something here, what will happen? This method will execute function change handler, and here what we are passing is the event. So I can access that event. Why here I am accessing the event? Because I need to access the value that has been entered. So to access that value, we have to go to the event dot target because this is my target, and from here I can access that value. So here I can go and put console.log event.target.value. I can go and put here is event.target.value. Let's go and check that in the console section whether the value is coming as expected or not. So let's say here I go and type the 1. You can see here I am getting the value as 1. As soon as the numbers are changing, you can see here I am getting the different values. Whatever the number that I am putting here, I am getting that value in the JavaScript. How this is possible? This is possible with the help of onChange event. This is possible with the help of onChange event. Any questions? Let me go to the comment section and check. Mohsin is asking, what if we don't have the class attribute inside the div? How you gonna access the div reference? So in case you don't have the class attribute here, you can access the div reference with the query selector all. But this query selector all, it will give you all the div elements available in your HTML file. Okay, for example, let's say here you don't want to use the class, but you want to use the div. So let me put it here. Let element is equal to document dot query selector all, because as there are more than one, we have to go for the query selector all, and here I am putting the div this time. Here I am putting the div this time. So if I go and log this, what it will return you is the node list. As there are more than one element, it will return you the node list. You can go and check the console here. You can see here what you are getting here is the node list, and here you can get in the two nodes. Why? Because if you go to your HTML file, this is the one div element and this is the another div element, right? And as we are accessing the tag here, no need to put this dot operator like what we have put it here. Now what you have to do here is you can go and iterate these values one by one. You can also convert this into the array if you want, because as of now it is of type node list. So what you can do, you can go and convert that node list into the array by using another method, that is the arrow.from. Right? And now this is the array. Like we perform the operations on the array, you can go and perform the operations on this array as well. I hope I am making clear to you, Mohsin. Let me know if it is not clear. There is one more question from the dropout schools are, sir, are you going to provide any project here? Yes, we do have the projects available, not only on the LWC, but also I am planning to take one project where we will see how we can beautify the web to lead form, right? We get this from the Salesforce platform, and we will see how we can beautify this form based on the concepts that we have learned. We will also host these forms over the web as well, so that you guys have that form available with all the time. We'll see how business or most of the companies go and modify the web to lead form and put it over their pages. So we will do that project. Another question that the dropout school have is, what kind of experience I can use by your videos. So from this, basically, you can get your knowledge on the LWC. What we are covering here is the basics of LWC. Most probably from the day 15th, we will be starting our LWC session where all these basics will be used. There's a question from the Sambram is, why we need to put an event parameter in method? Because we have to pass the value, right? To access that value, we need that event parameter. Okay, as we have to access that, like in this methods, there is nothing that we have to go and access from the user, so we have not put the event. But in this method, we have to access whatever the value that user have put here. That's the reason here I have put the event. Not only value, with the help of this event, you can access all the other parameters as well. For example, let's say here, I want to access the, let's say, name as well. Let's say here I am giving the name is equal to input me. If you want to access that name, that also you can access. So let me go and put here the event.target.name. Right, let me go and input this value 1. You can see here whatever the name that we have given in our HTML file, input me, this is also coming up here. So we can access all the inputs with the help of this change handler event. Whenever we don't want to access any attributes from the HTML, no need to specify the event. Any other question, folks? So there are few more points with respect to the events are pending. For example, how we can add the events programmatically. Like here, we are adding the event in our HTML file. But sometimes based on the condition, we have to go and add that event with the help of AddEventListner. And sometimes we have to also go and remove the event based on the condition with the help of RemoveEventListner. So I will be covering that tomorrow. Moreover, we will also discuss how we can create our own events as well, right, with the help of custom event concept that are again very frequently we use in the LWC. So with all this knowledge, I believe our events section will be done, and then we will be moving towards the last part of our JavaScript, that is the asynchronous JavaScript, where we will explore the promises, async await, set timeout, set time interval as well. So Samram have a question that do we have the real-time LWC projects? Yes, Samram. Yes, we do have the real-time LWC projects and advanced as well. Again, it's not altogether advanced, like, but we do have the good projects which will give you how we can use the LWC in our actual business. Okay, so I'll be making sure that definitely you can follow the tracker from the video description, where you will get where all we do have the placeholders for the projects as well. So we'll be covering the projects for sure. uh, I hope that's all for today. Right, tomorrow we will again meet at the same time and we will continue further. I hope you guys like the session and it adds some value to your time as well. In case you guys like the session, make sure you guys are hitting the like button and also spread the word for others to join too. Thank you.